Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Hey, good morning. So here we go. I did not really want to get up and go this morning because I instantly was like smacked in the face energetically with the realization that I was going to have to think about, address, and talk about things today that I don't really want to. Okay, so welcome to Herb Oracle. This is probably the point when I could probably lose like half of my listenership, but hey, it's got to be done because this is an issue for me that keeps coming up, and the whole point of this podcast is to work out my stuff and help people along the way, bring in more clarity, and of course, connect with the herbs for guidance. So the first thing that we are going to talk about today is vaccination, and then the second part of the show is going to be the next law of the universe, which I'm not even sure what that is. I'm going to have to flip the page and look. But so I've been reading this Jesus book. I think I told you about it. Jesus, My Autobiography. And it's channeled by Tina Louise Spalding. So last night I came across, this is where I stopped reading last night. I came across this passage that says, let's see here. All right. So as you shift your consciousness, your ability to create your world shifts and all the elements of your world shift within it. Okay, that's what we've been talking about, right? And then it goes on to say, as you raise your vibration, those areas of your mind that are incompatible with that vibration come into the forefront for healing. And they will come into your awareness. They will come into your awareness as negative events manifested in front of you. This is a very important awareness for you to have. Okay, so what I just read was, as we raise our vibe, as we start to vibe high, as we start to, increase our frequency, anything in our mind that is of lower frequency, that's incompatible with this high vibration, this new frequency. Anything that's incompatible with that high vibration is going to come to the surface. It's going to come to the forefront. Why? Because it needs healing. Okay? And it's going to feel negative, going to seem negative, even going to manifest into negative experiences because we need to be aware of it. We need to be aware of the lower vibrations in our minds, of the, stuff that just can't hang anymore. It just can't hang anymore. As we're vibing high, as we are feeling good, this negativity, this fear, this attack, this debate, this separation, whatever you want to call it, it just is not, it's not compatible anymore. So we need to heal it. Heal it. So for me, especially this week, the issue, debate, topic of vaccination has come to the forefront, has risen to the surface. And at first I just thought it was to annoy me, but no, it is because I need to do my healing work around it, my healing work for it, and really start to see that it is a lower vibration topic, and it is incompatible with my spiritual journey at this point. 100%. The practice of it has always been incompatible with my journey. But now, even just the conversation and topic and feeding into it is incompatible. So here's the other thing I want to tie in. I'm doing the Course in Miracles, and today I'm on lesson 170. And the lesson is, there is no cruelty in God and none in me. So it starts off by saying, no one attacks without intent to hurt. This can have no exception. When you think that you attack in self-defense, you mean that to be cruel is protection. You are safe because of cruelty. You mean that you believe to hurt another brings you freedom. And you mean that to attack is to exchange a state in which you are for something better, safer, more secure, from dangerous invasion and from fear. How thoroughly insane is the idea that to defend from fear is to attack. So in English, that means like if we're defending ourselves and thinking like attacking is the way, no, that's insane. Attack begets attack. Violence is just more violence. It doesn't matter if you're feeling like you need to defend yourself or be aggressive. Attack is attack. Hate is hate. Violence is violence. Negativity is negativity. And anytime that I engage in a conversation that I'm defending myself because I'm feeling attacked and then I attack back, that's just not where I want to be spiritually, energetically, vibrationally. It's just insane to think that we can war for peace. You can't fight for peace. That's insane. You're just fighting. You're still fighting. So anytime we defend ourselves and we attack back, that we're trying to harm them, which doesn't help the world. It's just what it is. So anyways, when you tie this into people debating and people arguing, there's so much hatred, fear, and violence in these discussions that even if it's on a subtle level, we really do have to be aware of it. So, okay, I'm getting a little bit distracted with these big thoughts. But the point of the matter is, when the topic of vaccination, and it has been so huge this week, I think it's time for the collective consciousness to really actually heal this within themselves. And I don't mean keep on choosing sides and keep fighting and keep debating. It's like, no, like we have to understand what we're doing here with our energy when we constantly fight about this. So yesterday, was that just yesterday? Sunday, I did a broadcast for my friends, like actually, and like with my face and everything, on an app, and I pulled a bunch of cards about debating and attacking and letting go of the need to be right. I'll actually pull up this little clip that I have from it. Maybe I'll even post it on my stories at Herb Oracle. Of course, I don't normally like show my face, but maybe it's time. I don't know. All right, so let's see if this will play good for you. If it's a lot of feedback, I'm sorry. It's 25 seconds. Bear with me. Here's the point.
Love and peace, peace and love. See the reality for what it is, and it's an illusion. Fighting with each other is an illusion. Arguing about this and that, bullshit. Get out of it. Step out of it. Choose love and let go of the need to be right. And so it is.
All right, so that was just a little clip. Yeah, let go of the need to be right. This debating and separating, it's an illusion. And it's keeping us down, it's keeping us apart, and it's just working that divide up through humanity more and more, getting more hate, getting more judgment, getting more separation, getting more attack, getting more fear, getting less connection, less unity, less oneness. So, of course, we could take a tangent and say, don't you see the agenda in this? Keeping people from uniting, right? All these issues, whether they be about healthcare or race or religion or sexuality, it's all to separate and divide. Divide and conquer. Keep the people fighting, right? Keep the people from uniting and knowing their true power. So please be aware of the big agenda that's happening all over the place. But for me personally in my own life, letting go of the need to be right. So my son, who is 16, almost 17, is not on the same page as me about vaccination at this point. Like, we never really talked about it. We just were an unvaccinated family. I never took a vocal stance about it, because it was just like a personal choice. We made it, so be it. Here we go. I don't need to convince anybody else of doing anything. Like, hey, if you want to, you can do whatever you want to your body. I really truly believe that. But for me personally, I will not even wear deodorant with chemicals and aluminum in it. So why would I inject that into my body? Like, that's just insane for me. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not even comfortable putting chemicals on my skin, let alone in my bloodstream. So that was just, my personal stance, my personal choice. So I never preached anti-vaccine or anything like that for the last 16 years. I just didn't even talk about it. It wasn't even an issue. And am I anti? I would say I am more FTS. Yeah, I would say I'm more fuck that shit. I'm beyond anti. No, I'm next level, FTS. All right, so anyways, but that's just me. That's because I see myself as a whole human divine intelligence within every cell. I fully believe in my capacity to heal and that I was born perfect. So, don't mess with perfection. Creation knew what the hell it's doing. So anyways, my point is, my child and I have gotten this, this friction a little bit with this debate. It's not all the time, but every once in a while it comes up, and, we're definitely in kind of two different directions at this point. But me being the mother, I want to love my child no matter what. I want to send love to my family all the time, whether they agree with me or not. So anyways, just yesterday I came across this YouTube video, and it was a UK mother whose daughter had gotten, I guess it's HPV, and that she got the vaccine for that. And right away she started getting this pain in her spine and her legs. Within weeks, she couldn't walk, and now she's crippled. It even got to the point where, first it was one leg, then it was another leg. Now she has her arms. She's paralyzed. She's freaking paralyzed, right? So there's this video, and they're not pointing fingers. They just want a solution. They just want the remedy. They just want some treatment for what has happened. They're just coming from that point, trying to, get their story out, can somebody please help us? My daughter's paralyzed now. So anyways, I decided to share this story. I texted to my son, who doesn't seem to be aware that adverse reactions can do and they have happened, right? So anyways, long story short, it just really was. Now this is brought to the surface now if I have sent a text message defending my point, not even defending, but just perpetuating a side of an issue, to me, I have gotten way off track of where I want to be, because I don't want to be one of those people that are constantly trying to defend their perspective and their point of view and their choice. I mean, it's free will, bitches. I mean, you can do whatever you want here. But it's also one of those topics where it's so personally clear to me how poisonous it is to the body that, I want to protect my children, so it's like I feel like my mothering thing, like I should at least let him be aware of this going on. But then the other part, then it really was like, no, you have taken this way too far, because you are putting a wedge in between you instead of love. If we are promoting fear-based whatevers, it's not love anymore. So it's like this big thing that's come to the surface for me. And every time I turn around, someone's talking about vaccination, someone's doing this, like, it's really come to the surface for me in my own reality. Maybe you too. If not, skip ahead another 20 minutes and you can get to the next law of the universe. So anyways, I am really just verbally acknowledging to the universe right now, I see you, I hear you, I see that this has come to the surface. Okay, I'm aware of that. This needs healing within me. Or what can I do to help heal the collective? What can I do to heal this topic that I don't feel inclined to send my son YouTube videos? Because like that's a bigger problem than anything for me. The fact that like now like we're perpetuating our opinions, and I think you heard, or maybe you didn't hear me what I said. Maybe this was in my broadcast that I did. Opinions. Yeah, everyone has one. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink. So I certainly do not want to be perpetuating my opinion, because that just makes me seem like an asshole. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So, anyways, I think what I want to do, it feels really good for us to look our I want to say just bullshits in the eye. Like anything that comes to the surface, even stuff that we're not comfortable with, but just that we know we need to deal with. I think it's so good for us to just sit with it sometimes and be like, I see you, I'm acknowledging you, I'm aware of you, and now I'm going to heal you. So what do I need to do to heal you? Okay, because I'm not looking to heal the huge topic of vaccination right now. I'm not looking to unite everyone. There is no uniting when you've become this divided unless you do your personal work. So this isn't like a thing that you can solve, and I was going to say attack from the outside in, but that's the whole thing, like no more attacking. This is just something that I want to resolve in me so that vibrationally it's not a topic, it's not an issue, it's not stalking me, it's not coming around, it's not demanding me to see it. So I think that like it has to do a lot with issues of judgment too, right? So like I see that within myself. Like if I see that, people are vaccinating, I judge them. I think, oh, they really don't know what the hell they're doing, do they? Right? So there's issues of judgment coming up for me. And then there's issues of defending myself and attacking. And what else is it? Like, what do I actually need to heal within myself with this topic? Like, what does this topic want me to see? Does it just want me to see that anytime that I am taking a side, that I am adding to the divide? Like, is it just that? So yeah, I think this first part, like, I'm going to pull some cards. I don't know if I will get any more clarity within myself. Maybe I just need to make intentions. Like, it is my intention, to not judge, to not debate, to not divide, to not defend, to not attack. It is my intention to release myself from the illusion of separation, from the arguments, from the take a team. You know what I mean? This, are you on team this or are you on team that? It's bullshit. It really is. It's just set up again and again and again to divide humanity. All right, so just got some dandelion root tea. Definitely a good tea to drink today. Detoxing, get everything flowing, stimulating, releasing. It is resilient. It does take strength to deal with the topics that we are uncomfortable with. But I will just say that I labeled last segment Vax Sin Nation. VAX, Vax Sin, SIN, Nation, NATION. I do. I feel like it, like my personal divide is that I think that vaccination is a sin against this nation. I really do. Vax Sin Nation. Play on words, if you will. Or, it is what it is. See, here's the thing. My mind wants to say, look at autism, look at this, look at that, look at blah, blah, blah. I'm just so fucking done with arguing about it in my mind. Not even with people, because I just choose not to engage generally with people. But, it's still in my vibration, right? You just can't keep things in your mind. Whatever's in your mind is for the sharing with the collective. So that's why it's so important for me to clarify, purify my mind, because I don't want to keep adding to the craziness. I don't want to keep adding to this chaotic community that we have created for ourselves as human beings. It's just not even a community. Like, there's just so much separation and arguments and hate for differences. And you can apply that to any topic. Hate for sexuality, hate for race, hate for healthcare now. That's what vaccination is, like, hate for bodily choices. You've got to be kidding me. We have to stop feeding into this monster. So yeah, that's why, like, anytime you get into a conversation, you see them as a monster and you can yourself feel like a monster, right? After you get over feeling righteous, after you get humble, bitch, and stop feeling so righteous. Yeah, it's like, that's how I felt today. All I did was text a video to my son so he would be aware of it. But on some level, that made me feel like a monster who is perpetuating this negative energy. So yeah, this is an issue that, like, we as a society, I guess, have to deal with emotionally, spiritually, and yeah, physically. Like, the physical repercussions are getting pretty obvious. Just the fact that, like, friends can be no longer friends because they have a differing viewpoint. Right? I just lost half of my listenership even being open-minded enough to talk about this. Oh, wow. All right. So I want to pull a soul flower, but first I want to pull some soul trees, just to kind of see if there's anything else with this topic that I need to be aware of. Like I'm inviting this scummy, lower vibrational aspects of myself to rise to the surface of my being. This could be scary. But I really want to clear my energy. It's a big, big deal for me. So this is a big, big topic that I am going to have to address within me. I don't know if my cards are going to be able to help me out right now. But every other damn day they seem to come through, so I'll just give it a go. So, soul trees, I really want to let go of this lower vibration. Okay, I don't want to argue anymore. I don't want to fight in my head. I don't want to defend myself. Defending is just attacking. It's just the energy of violence. We can kid ourselves all we want, but yeah, if we are defending ourselves, it's still the energy of attack. So I really want to get out of that. I don't want that in my family. I don't want that in my house. I don't want that in my home. I want to manifest a nicer world. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to pull 4 quick cards. And hey, if it has anything to do with anything, great. If not, we're just going to move on with our stuff here. I already have 2 out on the table. Give me some something. What do we need to do to heal this vaccination energy? Okay, so putting the deck aside, I picked 2 real quick, and then the other 2 took a little time to come through. Just gonna see. Watch them have nothing to do with anything. Okay. All right, so we've got treat yourself, 6th chakra, 3rd eye, create, and upside down tree, very fiery, initiative. All right. So I'll just start with the last one, actually the last 2. Create. And then we got this real fiery, uncomfortable colors. Like we're talking a black tree covered in fire. It's got green, but it's like so intense, and it's upside down. It's reversed. So we are creating an energetic situation that is not comfortable. So that's what I see at the end. Because if we don't clean up our energy, I feel like my cards are saying, honey, mama, girl, you listening? If you don't clean up your energy, you literally could lose a friend, right? Like my son is one of my best friends, okay? He probably don't see it like that because he's, a teenager, but he loves me and I love him. And why would I want to create strife in our relationship? Why would I ever want to do that? Out of the need to be a protective mother, I'm going to have to let that go. Because my cards are clearly telling me that I could create negative energy. I could create something that I don't want here. So initiative for me is kind of like a word where I'm like, it's like, what do you mean by that? But what kind of initiative are you taking in your life to create? What kind of life are you trying to create, right? You know what you want to create. Why are you falling in this trap of miscreating something that you don't want? So let's just jump to the beginning here. We got this beautiful little pink tree. She's so cute. And she's saying, treat yourself. Treat yourself. Sometimes that seems like, pamper yourself, take care of yourself, but treat yourself. Treatment. Heal yourself. Treat yourself to, I'm hearing sweet release. Treat yourself to a sweet release of having the courage, clarity, and audacity to say, I don't want this energy. I'm going to treat myself into a better feeling place, right? So yeah, I'm glad that I'm addressing being aware of the lower vibrations. But the first tree is reminding me that good for you, but that's all you really need to do, because we just wanted you to be aware of it. We just wanted you to make intentions to do whatever it takes to disperse it and heal it and integrate it. But yeah, like, let's treat yourself now to some lighter energy, some higher vibration, because that's going to be the key. That's going to be the balance in getting yourself out of this lower frequency topic of vaccination, right? Like, you're going to have to keep on treating yourself to love, light, compassion, grace, acceptance, gratitude, appreciation, right? You're going to have to keep on treating yourself like with love, basically. Like, if it comes up, somebody wants to talk about it to you, your first thing that you need to do is drop down into your heart space and love this human standing in front of you. Love this human on the other side of Twitter. You can't even see them, right? There, people are popping up everywhere wanting to argue with this because they need to be aware of this lower vibrational aspect of themselves as well. So we're all one, and the first thing we should be doing is seeing each other in the eyes of love, right? Seeing each other through the eyes of source, non-judgmental, unconditional love. So that's what the treat yourself feels like to me today. Now, the second card is the 6th chakra, third eye card. This indigo, violet blue, 3 trees with this spiral behind it, the third eye. So when we get caught up in lower vibrational third dimensional conversations, it lowers our frequency. We're not seeing clearly. We're not in touch with our intuition. And it's basically keeping us away from our spiritual journey. Any of these bullshit topics, whether it be vaccination, politics, sexuality, racism, right? I'm just picking the big ones. Do you like Coke or do you like Pepsi? No. All of this stuff just keeps us distracted and away from going within and taking care of our spiritual selves and our spiritual connection. So yeah, just like the ultimate daily reminder for us to drop in to our heart space, open up our awareness within our 6th chakra, that's our third eye, and really spend some time there. Get out of the argumentative monkey mind. Get into the third eye, clear, seeing, all-knowing space. So yeah, and then that just pulls us back into the create card, our third card, which is like, please be so aware of what you're creating. And I'm so thankful that I felt such a discord, such a ew feeling when I sent my son that text, especially when I saw it again this morning. So it wasn't even, and he woke me up at like 1 p.m. to like say something to me like, hey, that girl, I found out that she was starting to become paralyzed even before that vaccination. So he really does want to argue with me, but I'm really just going to have to like be the bigger person and stop feeding into it. Like, if he's supposed to come across information, I know his guides will make that available to him. Even though I'm his mother and I am his guide to like an extent of this dimension, I am not one of his higher guides because I'm still working on my stuff. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like that point of his life too, where I basically have to give him over to God. Like, okay, go for it. He's yours. But I have to be super aware of what I'm creating with him. And I just want to create connection, bonding, nurturing, and love with my children, no matter what. So yeah, even if our opinions differ, even if we are playing different roles, I gotta just keep on creating the way I want to create. And keep my mouth shut at this point, I think. But But I also want to, I don't just want to stop talking about this with people. I want to get it out of my vibration. I want to take the initiative to just get away from it completely. Like, unless, okay, guides, unless there's something that I'm supposed to be doing with it, I don't feel like I need to be involved in it. So I was just like, I mean, do you ever feel like that? Like, okay, if I'm supposed to be doing this work, then fine, I'll do it. But if this is just a miscreation of mine and something that's lowering my frequency and bugging me, then I'd like to heal it. I'd like to purge it and heal it and transmute it ASAP. All right, so I'm getting a little tired of this conversation already. So I'm going to pull... My throat chakra's like, could we just be done already? Could we just get to the next law of the universe? But I want to pull a soul flower. 2 of them, top and bottom. If that's what the soul flower would like. Just to get myself off of this topic. I'm aware of it. I'm asking the universe to help me heal it. I'll do whatever. I'll treat myself. I'll open my third eye. I'll create better, whatever. Whatever it takes, I will do it because I don't want to manifest any more bullshit in my life. We've got red clover for tranquility and mugwort for integration. Okay, so here we go. Herb Oracle. The reason we're here is to get, clarity and connection from the herbs. We've got red clover with a message of tranquility, and we have mugwort with a message of integration. Red clover helps support a sense of clarity, individuality, and self-awareness in the midst of our chaotic and often negative world. So apparently red clover has been listening in on this conversation. She is a calm and steady presence, helping you to remain balanced and to think and act from your center of truth, despite whatever may be taking place around you. Wow. I'm like blown away. That red clover came in. She just, lovingly hit the nail on the head. And she wants us to be calm and steady, just like her, to think and act from our center of truth, despite whatever may be taking place around you, despite the chaotic and negativity that might be going on around you. Doesn't that just us sitting at a table, everybody trying to tear each other's faces off, talking about vaccination? Can we be the calm, steady, centered energy? Can we be the person who stays connected to love in that moment? Can we do that? Can we maintain our sense of clarity, individuality, and self-awareness and stay true to our hearts without engaging, without adding to the chaos? Dang. So then it comes through with mugwort. Mugwort is integration. It says there is a rhythm and balance to all life. A dance between physical reality and the spiritual world. Mugwort opens and expands your consciousness to embrace all that you are, light and dark, body and spirit, helping you integrate all aspects of your multidimensional consciousness into your everyday practical life. So, that's the thing about vaccination and discussing it. It keeps us in the physical realm. It keeps us thinking we are just a body. It keeps us from integrating our multidimensional aspects, because it's like it doesn't make it makes you forget that you're a spiritual being. That's really. So anyways, I love that mugwort's coming in. That's saying, first of all, you're the all. You're light and dark. So, I mean, for me, it's like, that's right. I have to embrace myself. Like, even when I'm feeling aggressive and dark, like, oh, you're going to come at me with that needle? Well, expect to receive it back in the side of your throat. You know what I mean? like that aspect of me, it needs integrated just as much as the I love you completely, you and I are one, right? The polar opposite aspect, it's all me. It's all me. So I really need to gather all parts of me, all of my me's, and integrate them so I can connect with my higher me's and my multidimensional me's. Because yeah, that's like really like where we're headed. Understanding wholeness on a whole new level. And it was just funny to me. Understanding wholeness on a whole new level. This integration of self. So yeah, mugwort. I love that mugwort came through because we were just talking about opening up our third eye, our sixth chakra, creating better, right? Treating ourselves to this expanded awareness. So yeah, that's how I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to wrap up vaccination right now by just saying that I'm not sure exactly what I should be doing with other people, with conversations. But the only way I'm going to create clarity in my life is from going within, from staying in my heart space, from activating my sixth chakra, from getting more clear visions of my truth and what's right for me. But big love, big love to everyone regardless. That needs to be my center of truth. Love regardless. If people want to make this decision or that decision, I need to stay in love regardless. So thank you, Red Clover, for reminding me to maintain tranquility. Thank you, Mugwort, for reminding me to integrate all aspects of my being. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be love and light all the damn time, but we have got a dark shadow to integrate, to heal, and to accept as well. So yeah, let me just keep on doing my work. Thank you, Third Dimension, for showing me what still needs to be healed, what is of lower vibration, what is just not going to jive no more. The higher I raise my frequency, the more aware I'm going to be of lower density, lower vibrational stuff. And that's what the debate of vaccination is. So I really, no pun intended, am going to opt out of the conversation, of the debate, of the divide. What did I say? The debate. Debate and divide. Debate. Like really, because it is a distraction. It is a distraction for what I want to create. And I am in a big time initiative. I am being initiated big time into different realms, into different places within myself. So I really need to treat myself to clear waters, to treat myself to high vibe only, to treat myself to the reality that I want to create. And in the world that I want to live in, we are not fighting, and we are not debating, and we are not arguing, and we are not attacking, and we are not judging, and we are not condemning, and we are certainly not mandating each other to do things that do not resonate within us. Okay, so holy crap, are we even up for doing a law of the universe? We're on the fourth law today. We've got 105 universal laws. We're on number 4. When you're on the beginning of a journey that is very clearly still at the beginning, that's okay. I never thought I would make it to lesson 170 on my Course in Miracles journey. Like, that's pretty amazing that I stuck with it for 170 days. That's amazing for me. So yeah, at the end of this, I'll be like, oh wow, I did 105. So really, 105, I can do that. So today is the fourth one, the law of analogy. And I'll just read it, and because I didn't look ahead. This podcast is all about being completely unprepared. Okay, the law of analogy. Although this is a definite condition of third dimension existence, no analogy is ever exact in detail, but only in certain broad, basic correspondences. There will be found unchangeable points of resemblance, but in using analogy viewing creation, no two details are exact. Using analogy in trying to mentally explain the unexplainable, one attempts to convey understanding in a broad sense. Is this really a law of the universe? I knew there would be some of these laws that, like, I'm just be like, they're just making shit up at this point. Like, is there really, how is there even a law of an analogy? All right, but that's okay. I decided to go through these with an open mind and check them out. So this is a definite condition of third dimension existence. And now the law of analogy. It says no analogy is ever exact in detail, but only in certain broad, basic correspondences. Like, it almost feels like to me, like, instead of the law of analogy, it's like, I don't know, like, analogies are interesting, but think about how often they get, like, our third dimension in trouble. Like, when someone takes an analogy, and it's pretty good, but, like, people take it, like, word for word for verbatim and, like, start preaching it. Hello, the Bible. Right? Like, sometimes, like, people take an analogy way too far. So I'm trying to see, like, what I think about this. So what do you think about it? The law of analogy. I'm going to just look up the definition of analogy. It says, Wikipedia says, analogy is a cognitive process of transferring information or meaning from a particular subject to another, or a linguistic expression corresponding to such a process. So it is transferring information or meaning from one subject to another. And it can also be defined as a comparison of two otherwise unlike things based on resemblance of a particular aspect. So kind of interesting, like our brain wants to think of analogy like English literature, language arts, but yet I'm sort of picking up a different vibe when it's like transferring information or meaning from a particular subject to another. So from the analog or source to another, which is the target. So that's kind of interesting, especially like today, like what we've been talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have too many thoughts about this. It goes on to say, there will be found unchangeable points of resemblance, but in using analogy viewing creation, no two details are exact. Using analogy trying to mentally explain the unexplainable, one attempts to convey understanding in a broad sense. So yeah, I mean, when you have a spiritual journey, it's like you sometimes don't have the words to explain it. So you just are trying to do your best in this third dimension to, transfer details from your experience outward to try to understand them and explain them. I'm glad we tacked this on at the end after everybody probably left, unsubscribed, and whatever. Or not. Maybe you're open-minded enough to stay. All right, so we're going to end this broadcast, I guess, considering the law of analogy. We're going to use the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle from Jane Struthers. Of course, I just think about how analogies get us into trouble sometimes, but it is our, I don't know, like we want to explain things. It's our humanness, right? Our human minds in this third dimension. Like you have an amazing meditation experience. Hard to find the words for that. So we try to use analogies, right? You make a connection, like mugwort is a great plant to, it's like you might find it very hard to explain how mugwort served you, right? So yeah, I'm kind of just trying to get a message with this law. I don't know if I will. All right, so we have white mulberry coming in, and it's got the yin yang, it's got the light, it's got the dark. So yeah, all aspects of us coming in here. And let's just see what white mulberry has to say. It's got a green border, so it's all about wisdom, right? Wisdom and harmony. So yeah, wisdom and harmony coming in. The white mulberry deva message is, I will send you spiritual and emotional nourishment. This will guide you into creating a stronger and more harmonious connection with others and enrich your understanding of their motives as well as your own. All right, so thank you, white mulberry. This is kind of bridging a little bit of a connection with the law of analogy, right? People just want to connect. People just want harmonious transfer of wisdom. They just want people to understand their experience, the law of analogy. So white mulberry is coming in with some spiritual and emotional nourishment so that we can create stronger and more harmonious connections with others. So I love actually now that we're ending like this, because talking about vaccination, that divides, that creates disharmony. So white mulberry is very wise to come in today. Let's see. It is native to Western Asia. This tree bears catkins and sweet edible fruits. It's very fast growing, but it's also short-lived. It grows to about 65 feet tall. Some Chinese traditions believe that the mulberry is the world tree, or the tree of renewal. This unites the dead who dwell in the 9 sources with the 9 heavens. The tree therefore represents the Tao, I guess that's how you say it, Tao. But it said Tao, I guess, I don't know. Or the fundamental nature of the universe. Okay, so this tree represents the fundamental nature of the universe, connecting the dead with the heavens, right? It's all about connection. A sacred grove of mulberry trees was always planted outside China's ancient royal capital cities. The white mulberry is used extensively in traditional Chinese medicine to cleanse the liver and to send qi, or energy, flowing smoothly through the meridians. So this is the mulberry tree. Very cool. So our message is to find the connections between you and the people and the animals with whom you share your life. Do your best to create harmony with them and to empathize with them, even when their behavior perplexes you. Even when their behavior perplexes you. So even when their opinions and actions perplex you, their perspective, you just don't get it, right? If you're on Team Vax, you can't understand why people are on Team FTS. If you are pro-vax, you can't understand why someone would say FTS. Fuck that shit. Right? Likewise, if you are on Team honor and, treat your body with respect, you can't understand why someone would inject poison in their body. Right? So this is all about creating harmony despite differences. This is all about empathizing even though they perplex you. Because what really matters is that you do your best to create harmony. What really matters is that you create connections and maintain connections, because love connects us all. And that is the truth. That is truth. Love is what we are. It's what we're made of. It's what God is. Love, 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 love. Everything else can be filed under bullshit illusions. Oh, thank you so much, White Mulberry. That is it. I just want to create harmony in this house, in this life, and then, of course, ultimately in the world. But I can't just go out and create harmony in the world if I don't have harmony within my own life and within my own self. So, excellent wisdom from White Mulberry. Now, we also have the baobab tree and eucalyptus reversed coming in. They're on the top and bottom, and I just feel like they have a little quick message for us. The baobab deva says, I am known as the tree of life because I can help people to survive the harshest living conditions. Whenever you call on me, I will give you emotional strength and spiritual sustenance so that you can cope with whatever life brings you. Whatever life brings you. Baobab is saying that I am going to help you. So the baobab's remarkable ability to store thousands of gallons of water in the spongy wood of its trunk has saved countless lives in times of drought. I mean, they can make rope and cloth from the bark, and it's just very significant because of the life-saving qualities of the water. So in Africa and Australia, it's believed to be the gateway to the afterlife. It can live for up to 3,000 years before rotting from the inside and collapsing. Its edible seeds are high in vitamin C, calcium, and protein, and so it's a very valuable food. And hello, who lives for 3,000 freaking years? Baobab, what's up? Or baobab, maybe. Anyways, that's incredible. So this is in Africa, Madagascar, and Australia. But it wants us to have faith in the universe's ability to provide you with exactly what you need whenever you need it, and to offer you spiritual protection. So baobab, is it baobab? It is all about survival, and it wants you to use your resources and talents to get the most out of every day. So amazing. Strength and spiritual guidance is coming. So yeah, if things seem harsh right now, just go within and tap into that wellspring of guidance and strength and sustenance. Now, eucalyptus is reversed, which means, are you being too cautious and careful about making the right decisions? Although it is wise to weigh up the pros and cons of each of your options, it is not helpful to become so anxious about them that you rid yourself of all spontaneity. So eucalyptus can show us how to live wisely and honestly by establishing balance in our lives and in our attitudes to the people around us. So let's not get so left or right, up or down, this or that. Let's not get caught up so much in the pros and cons of each of our options that we become anxious and that we stop living a spontaneous, joyful life because we're afraid that we're going to make a bad decision, or what's right, what's wrong. That is so freaking duality. And it's just time to get out of this bullshit illusion. Dang, was that a long hour for you, or was it just long and heavy for me? But here's the thing, I do have days where I have to contemplate. I have to think. I have to dive into this crap because I want to clear it. I want to heal it. I want to have a healthy, balanced, loving perspective about myself and others and life. I want to be that energy that is clear and supportive and connected to the all, connected to love, connected to source, connected to connection with others. So this does have a big message, all of our messages, big time. We do want to have harmonious things going on in your life. We want to integrate and then create, because we don't want to miscreate, but we also don't want to be caught up in worrying that we're going to miscreate, that we stop living our life joyously, because that's what it's all about. Our life is not supposed to be about one debate after another, right? It's not to be about attacking. We're not here for war, people. We are actually here for love. So the earth has gotten misguided, and we need to do our part in getting ourselves back to love. So even if you do have a different opinion, we all have one, and they all stink. Let's get ourselves back on that playing field, that it is the playing field of love. Okay, so do your part today to do what you can to get your frequency and energy back to love, connection, and harmony, regardless of the negativity and chaos that you could be offered. Everything is coming to the surface, so be aware of it, acknowledge it, and notice what's coming to the surface, because you have some work to do there within yourself. But as for your choices that you make, you do not have to engage in the negativity. So as we are offered these opportunities to attack and fight, let us just make that solid decision to stay balanced, to stay in our heart space, and to stay in love with everyone. Even if. All right, well, thanks for trudging through all that muck with me. The law of analogy. I don't know. I'll put it down in the books. We did it. And we'll do another one tomorrow morning. So I hope to see you there. Much love.